You want to be a top 1% player in Rocket League in 2025? Cool, let's get something straight. That means you want to be Grand Champion or higher, which also means you want to outperform 99% of the player base. And that's not something you stumble into by accident. You're going to have to start doing things very differently and stop wasting time on the same routines that keep everyone else stuck. Now let's clear one myth right away. You don't need to have the best mechanics in the world to be a top 1% player. It helps, sure, but it's not required. And there are plenty of Grand Champs and SSLs who can't flip reset consistently, don't double flip reset, don't breezy, don't freestyle, but what do they all have? They win. Because at the end of the day, ranking up is about winning games, not showing off in free play. So Dice, how do you actually start improving in a way that leads to wins? Well, it starts with one word: intentionality. Most players hop into Rocket League, play a few ranked games, feel frustrated, close the game, and then repeat that endless cycle for months or even years, and nothing changes. They're not thinking about what went wrong, they're not reviewing their gameplay, they're not doing anything with intention. Let me ask you this: after your last ranked loss, did you stop and review the replay? Did you ask yourself what you could have done differently, or did you just assume that your teammates were trash and queue up again? Because that moment, where you either accept responsibility or blame everyone else, that is the moment that decides whether you improve or stay hard stuck. If you are serious about reaching the top 1%, you have to start studying your own gameplay like a coach would. You need to stop just playing and start learning. And that means watching your replays, identifying recurring mistakes, and actually working on fixing them one at a time. And I get it. It's not as flashy as hitting, a clean air dribble, but it works. Now, the next thing you need to understand is that the biggest difference between a Champ 1 and an SSL is not mechanics. It never has been. It's consistency in decision making. Lower ranks rely on 50-50s and lucky plays. Top 1% players, they calculate every touch, every rotation, every challenge. They're playing chess, while the rest are just mashing buttons and checkers. So the first step to climbing out of mediocrity is this: stop playing on autopilot. If you go into every ranked match just trying to win without having a specific thing you are working on, you're literally wasting your time. You need to focus your attention like a laser. Pick one area per session. Maybe it's back post rotations, maybe it's conservative challenges, maybe it's backboard defense. Just one thing. Play 5 to 10 ranked games with the sole intent of improving in that category, and you'll be shocked at how fast your results change when games have purpose. And one more thing, free play and training packs are not optional anymore. If you think you can just spam ranked and get better, you're wrong. You have to be developing both your mechanics and your game sense separately and deliberately. Open your last 3 ranked replays. Watch just one of them, no music, no distractions, just you and the game. And instead of blaming your teammates, ask yourself what you could have done differently in every goal that you win in. You'd be surprised, not just at what you missed, but at how much control you actually had. This is the stuff almost no one's doing, and that's why almost no one's in the top 1%. So now you understand that becoming a top 1% Rocket League player isn't about grinding ranked games mindlessly. It's about playing with intent, reviewing your mistakes, and focusing on one area at a time. But understanding that isn't enough. You need a system, a simple, repeatable structure that lets you keep improving consistently even when motivation drops or your ranked MMR hits a wall. Let me walk you through a daily system that's actually sustainable that I've used and one that top players use even without realizing it. And if you follow this consistently, it's only a matter of time before you rank up. Step 1, warm up with structure, not vibes. Let's stop pretending that, jumping straight into ranked is fine. It's not. You wouldn't go into a real match cold in any sport, and Rocket League is no different. Every single day should start with a 15-minute warm up. 5 minutes in free play. Focus on clean touches, drive, jump, flip, keep the ball close. No air dribbles, no freestyles, just control. 5 minutes in a shooting pack. Aim for consistency. It's not about scoring every shot. It's about learning how to recover, read the bounce, and reset. 5 minutes on aerial car control or recoveries. Either use a custom map or just launch the ball in free play and practice catching it midair. If you suck in the air, you're capping your potential at champ. The goal isn't to impress anyone, it's to warm up your inputs and get your head in the game. Step 2, intentional ranked. After you're warmed up, you go into ranked, but like I said earlier, you're not just trying to win, you're trying to improve one specific thing. You'll pick one of these categories and focus on it during your entire rank session. Rotations, especially, back post recovery. 2, challenge timing, are you patient or are you diving? And number 3, boost management. Are you starving or are you hoarding boost? Number 4, first touches. Are you handing the ball away? Number 5, awareness. Where's your third man? Where's your last man? And it's like weight training. You don't work every muscle group at once. You target one group hard, then rotate. Same thing here. Every 3 to 4 days, rotate your focus. And that's how real progress compounds. And step 3 is replay review. And this is where the average player completely drops the ball. You finish ranked and close the game. No reflection, no learning, just emotions and excuses. And here's what top 1% players do. They pull up one replay from the session, win or lose, and watch the entire thing from their own perspective. Here's what you're looking for. Every time you rotate, ask, was this necessary? Could I have helped my teammate instead? Every challenge, ask, did I commit at the right time? Was there a better option? Every time you die or get beat, what led up to that moment? Could I have avoided it? And this process is 10 minutes max, and yet almost no one does it. It's boring, it's repetitive, but it works, and you'll start seeing patterns in your losses, not just random chaos, and you'll actually fix things faster than you think. And step number 4 is a mental reset. If you've ever played 6 ranked games in a row and felt your brain melting by game 5, congratulations, you're normal. But top 1% players don't let tilt control their improvement. They take breaks, but not when you're mad. Take them before you get mad. Watch a replay, grab water, walk around, then queue again. And if you're playing like a zombie, nothing good is happening. So to recap, every session needs 15 minutes of structured warm-up, a focus for your ranked games, a 10-minute replay review, and a mental reset before your next queue. And that's the system. It's not flashy, but it's what separates grinders from actual players who improve. If you've made it this far, you already know that the best players don't just play more, they play better. They warm up with intent, they focus on one skill at a time, and they review their own gameplay to improve faster than everyone else. But there's still one more layer to this, and this is where 99% of players fall short, even if they're, mechanical beasts. It's how the 1% think about Rocket League, their game sense, their decisions, their awareness, and this is the final piece, and it's what actually makes someone a top player. Let's break it down. The mindset. You are not a main character. The average player thinks like this: I made a cool shot, so I'm cracked. My teammates suck, I deserve a better rank. I got demoed again, these kids are cringe. Meanwhile, the top 1% think I hit a good shot because my teammate gave me space. That bad challenge was my fault. I rotated slowly. I got demoed because I drove the same path 3 times. If you want to become the kind of player who takes responsibility for everything, your success, your mistakes, your team's performance, not in a toxic way, just realistically, if you're always blaming others, you can't fix anything. But if everything is your fault, then everything is under your control, and that's a powerful place to be. Game sense is pattern recognition. Everyone throws the word game sense around, but no one actually defines it. So here it is. Game sense is your ability to recognize a situation before it happens and respond before anyone else. It's like a chess player who is 3 moves ahead. In Rocket League, that looks like cutting rotation because you know your teammate will miss. Turning early because the other team's pass is obvious. Holding your flip on a 50 because you read the bounce. Most of this doesn't come from some supernatural gift. It comes from watching thousands of plays, either in your own replays, pro replays, or ranked games. You see enough 2v1s, enough overcommits, enough kickoff bounces, and eventually your brain just knows. That's why players with 3,000 hours can still be hard stuck, because they never watched, they never studied, they just autopiloted through every single game. So here's how you actually improve this. Watch pro replays, not for entertainment, but to pause and guess what happens next. Literally ask yourself, what would I do here? Then compare your answer to what the pro actually did, and that gap you're missing is game sense. Review your own games like a coach. Don't just say unlucky when something goes wrong. Figure out what happened 3 seconds earlier. And top players aren't reacting to the moment, they're reacting to what happened before the moment. Mute everyone. Game sense dies when your ego gets involved. The second you start typing or raging at a demo, you're playing emotionally, and top 1% players focus on the field, not their feelings. Think in outcomes, not actions. Average players chase touches, top players chase outcomes. Average player, I touched the ball, excited. Top player, what did that touch do for my team? Do you see the difference? The average player, I saved it. Top player, did my clear give possession away, or did I start a counter? If you start thinking in terms of outcomes instead of actions, your decision making gets way sharper. And every challenge, every pass, every rotation, ask yourself, what am I trying to do to accomplish here? And is there a better way to get that outcome? Final recap, if you want to hit the top 1% in Rocket League in 2025, you need to do 3 things better than 99% of players. Stop grinding blindly, pick one weakness and isolate it. The second thing you need to do is follow a daily system that includes warm-up, focus ranked, replay review, and resets. And the third thing you need to do is shift your mindset. Train your pattern recognition and think in outcomes, not actions. If you follow this system, even if you're not the most, mechanical player in the world, you'll be shocked at how fast you can actually climb. And if you want real coaching from actual pros who played at the top level, not just SSLs, but real professionals who still compete, we've got a program built for serious players, and inside we help players at all ranks get one-on-one feedback, replay reviews, private training with pros who actually know what it takes to reach the top, and you can check it out through the link in the description, but only if you're serious about ranking up this year. Now, go play smarter, and I'll see you on the next video.